talk Barcelona. Let's talk Ronald Koeman. Midweek, they go back to another 3-0 loss in the Champions League. That's the first time since 2000 when Barcelona have lost back-to-back games in the group stages. By the way, the last 5 games with Ronald Koeman in Europe, they have not won a game. They've conceded 14. They've lost twice. You know what did it for me? When he put on Gavi for Piqué and put Frankie de Jong as a center back. That's all I will tell you. But right now, per Fabrizio Romano, Barcelona are now looking for a new manager. Will it happen in a few days? Will it happen before Atletico Madrid? Jimmy, Conrad, I want you to fill in. First of all, Koeman said, I feel supported, very supported by my players here at Barcelona and by the club. I don't know. Jimmy, talk to me about Ronald Koeman.
Probably by his underwear. That's probably the only thing supporting him at this moment, keeping everything in place. But I'll say that
that's not something I need.
Ronald Koeman knew what he was walking into when he took this job, that the possibility of Messi, of him leaving, was real. And the possibility of Barcelona having to really be transparent about their financial obligations and the fact that they are way in debt and that they made some buy. He knew what he was walking into. What I find funny is that people were trying to hype up Ronald Koeman like he was a good manager. He's got some strong Frank de Boer vibes where he didn't really kill it at Everton. I don't remember going, God damn, that Ronald Koeman, what a manager. And like that never went into my brain. And so, yeah, okay, he had a little short stint with the Dutch national team and did well. And then this is his dream job, being a former player for Barcelona. But I wonder here if at some point Barcelona has to look at it similar to Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. Do you just make this change and make that happen? Rafa Benitez didn't work out at Madrid. They brought in Zidane, and that kind of unlocked a couple things. That said, when I look at that Chelsea team that Lampard had and the one that Benitez had, they had some really good team there, and they just kind of needed to hear a different voice and maybe be set up in a different way. And from Madrid's perspective, Zidane smartly put in Casemiro, and that kind of unlocked everything. When I look at Barcelona, I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know what's going to solve it. Yes, they have a lot of talented young players, but those young players I don't think are ready to take on the responsibility. And the old guys are looking real old. So they're in that weird phase where they're just going to have to suck it up. And I wonder how many Barcelona fans from about a year ago are now PSG fans because they're like, to hell with this. I'm going to go follow Messi.
I know like 3. Definitely.
I do appreciate the increased amount since Messi left of being like, I'm more of a player fan than I am a team fan. I like to follow the players wherever they go and support them. But Barcelona, as Jimmy mentioned, when Koeman came in, people called him courageous for taking the situation. It was a dire situation. It was already ugly. And then he had this run of form that looked like he might actually lead them to a title where they were on a great run late in the season last year. And
he did win Copa del Rey as well. Like he did win a trophy as well.
And it seemed like there was some sort of turnaround happening. What I don't understand now is whether Messi left or stayed or whatever, the club was still going to have this same financial situation. And I don't know why. Maybe he's not the right manager for the job, but why him and the club haven't been able to sort of hold hands on basically working with the situation to say, hey, it's ugly, it's messed up, Messi's gone, we've got to rebuild, we're going to do this thing until they find another manager. But it seems like at a certain point, something happened behind closed doors where they turned their back on him, or he realized that he didn't have the support that he needed. And now he's verbalizing that an exit basically is imminent. And I know it's not, he's not going to make the excuse and say, well, I don't have any spending power, I don't have whatever. He's now going to find all these other reasons to save face, which is ugly because, again, if you were to reset expectations for Barcelona, take the finances out. We can blame the club all we want, and they deserve the blame. We can blame the club for the Messi debacle. But you still have quality players in that team where years that Real Madrid went, where they won the Champions League. Okay, silver lining, it's a huge trophy, but they didn't win the league, and the league is still a huge priority, and you still are tinkering and working through those things. I think Barcelona could be able to find that silver lining to be able to say, hey, we're rebuilding. We've got young players. We've got to have all these changes. We've got financial issues, and sort of bring the club back down to earth a little bit and reset the expectations. Start rebuilding La Masia because that's not what it once was. There's a rare opportunity, sort of what feels like a once in a decade or once in however many years, where they can hit the reset button and get back to the foundation of what made Barcelona great. But instead, they're getting caught up in this whole You know that meme where it's Spider-Man and they've three Spider-Mans and they're all pointing at each other. It's kind of like that situation.
I was thinking the dog in the fire, like just everything's burning.
Yeah.
It's interesting when Koeman, as Heath mentioned, talks about how he's kind of not been given what he wants, what he needs. He has got a lot of things through at a time when Barcelona don't have a lot of money to spend. And when you look at his judgment on players, that for me is as questionable as anything. I think actually it's quite easy to be told these are the best players we've got in the academy, give them a go, and then you play them because you've got no choice. He pushed for the signing of Eric Garcia, who can't defend. He pushed for the signing of Luke de Jong, who can't score. He pushed for the signing of Jorginho Wijnaldum. And I think that the silver lining on this disaster of a summer for Barcelona is that they didn't sign Jorginho Wijnaldum, who looks woeful. He has got what Barcelona can give him, given the circumstances. And it's clear he's not happy. As the guy said before, he's a really difficult manager. There are lots of reports going around now about whether Barcelona just might not be able to afford to pay him off. I've also seen reports elsewhere saying that, well, they haven't paid off the last two managers, so they might not pay off this one.
Setien and Valverde are still owed money as we speak.
Get in line.
I don't think there's many more effective ways to spend money right now than to get Ronald Koeman out of the club. It's just a horrendous fit. He is living his dream, but it's turned into a nightmare. This is monkey's paw stuff. He's been given Barcelona at exactly the wrong time. He doesn't want to be there. My only worry is, we look down this list of potential options. You've got someone like Andrea Pirlo. He'll take the job because he's probably not that good, at least on the basis that he's got no track record. Or someone like Marcelo Gallardo, who I don't know much about. Maybe Luis, you can tell me more.
Well, he's probably the best manager in South America. His contract ends December 31st, but there are presidential election situations with River Plate as well. So it depends how much they persuade him. But Gallardo is incredible. But the question is always, do you want this nightmare of a job? That's the question. Like,
if he's got one shot at top, we've seen this with someone like Tata Martino. You might only get one shot at top level management in Europe. Do you want it with this Barcelona team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing I'll add is I'm hearing rumors of Roberto Mancini, which I hadn't heard before, and I thought that to be really interesting. Now, I don't think he's going to lead the Italian national team before the World Cup, so it seems pretty premature, I think, to start throwing his name in the hat. But he, I think, would be a pretty good hire and something a little bit different. I don't know. An Italian manager at Barcelona would be something. So I'm kind of curious as to what this is going to look like. But I fear that Barcelona, just because of how the last few seasons have gone, will rush into hiring somebody without maybe just let's actually get a plan. Let's let Koeman kind of see it out to the transfer window. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. And that's where I think is the big issue. Everybody's not on the same page about what to do and how to move forward. And you can see that trickle onto the field because they don't look like the same Barcelona that we know. So speaking about the Atleti game, Atleti are coming off a very good performance in Milan. And getting fortunate, they got that penalty at the end. I thought a draw was a fair result, but Griezmann scored, which I think is important. Now you got Griezmann and Suarez getting to crack at their former club in Barcelona. Barcelona, probably the best time of the season to play them because they feel vulnerable. That said, Barcelona played 6 games in La Liga and haven't lost, and yet it's a dumpster fire. It's crazy to me that they haven't lost, and yet everybody's so upset.
Atleti are at home, right? Atleti are at home.
This one. So the Diego Simeone special is always 1-0 in this one. Atleti have scored 9 of their 11 goals in the league in the second half. So if you're looking at that, maybe a draw in the first half, Atleti stealing it in the second half is like plus 340 is kind of where I would lean. If you want them to win to 0 or Atleti to win 1-0, 2-0, whatever it is, that's plus 205. I think Barcelona will score. I don't know who that would be. Maybe Memphis Depay. But for Atleti to win and Barcelona to score is or both teams to score would be plus 305.
Heath, go ahead if you wanted to add anything before we move on this one.
No, I'm good. I mean, it's as simple as Jimmy, or as complex as everybody's made it to be so far, especially in that matchup with that Atletico Madrid, and just purely on Griezmann. He got his first goal for the club in the Champions League. He's played 7 matches in the league, hasn't kind of cracked the nut on that one. So this is a good opportunity for him to show that, when he is somewhat the man of the team, that he can arrive on big occasions.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's play a fun game before I move on here. All right. Let's say Koeman is gone because per Fabrizio Romano, he's done. Barcelona are looking. So just give me a name right now. Don't even explain it to me. Just tell me a name. Who would you see here at Barcelona? Not necessarily who you would like to see, but maybe who you think they're going to get. Let's go with Benge. Who you think?
Ted Lasso.
That's what I said. Yes.
Why not?
Nick Saban. Absolutely. Yeah. Who do you think? Oh, I love it. Yeah, that was great, Jimmy Conrad. If you're watching, by the way, on YouTube, a really nice design there. I love it. Jimmy, who do you think?
I'd go with Xavi.
Okay. Shabby. Heath?
Oh, man. I don't know. I just... It could only be a club legend. I could see somebody like a Thierry Henry wanting the job, who's not really favored as a manager, but has some legendary roots with the club. Maybe not him, but somebody at that, somebody
what
at that.
What a resume,
tier.
by the way, from Montreal to CBS Sports, assistant to Belgium.
Well, it's just somebody that I think probably views the lens of the club a little bit jaded in a way that they would take that job versus realizing that, like, I'm running into a burning building and, would take that as an opportunity to springboard and think that they could have the ego to turn this thing around right now. Maybe not him, but somebody, I guess, at that tier that's done some great things at the club, but isn't quite Xavi status, who wants to protect his reputation.
Okay, I think that the three youngest squad members of Barcelona should all manage the club until the end of the season and then see what happens. By the way, Luis Suarez said to Sport, at Barca, there is a war that hurts the players. I personally recommend Xavi to wait. This is not the ideal time to get to the club. He's smart. He has to wait a moment. All right, Lucho Suarez, thank you for that.